Hello everyone. Today we are going to study OSUNIX lab session 13. In the previous session we have studied various loops. We have seen while loop and for loop with various examples, and still there are remaining two loops, select loop and until loop. We'll see this in the next session. So first we'll see this expr command, expression command, which is used for calculation part, which is used for performing the arithmetic calculation in Unix Linux. So if you don't use this expression command while performing the arithmetic calculation, it is going to give the error. Without including the brackets, if you try to perform the calculation, it is going to give the errors. So if you don't use the brackets, then you need to use this expression command for arithmetic calculations. Unix or Linux operating system provides the bc command and expr command for doing arithmetic calculations. So there is another command, bc command, which is also used for performing arithmetic calculation. So today first we'll see this expr command. So what is the expr command? Expr command reads the expression, that is arithmetic expressions, parameters, evaluates it and writes the result to the standard output. So variables defined in Linux bash shell stores values in the form of string. So whatever the variables are defined in the shell scripting, those are in a form of string. Those values will be taken in a form of strings. Even the integers are taken in a form of strings, are stored as a strings. So to identify these are arithmetic variables, we need to use this expression command with the arithmetic expressions. So to perform arithmetic operations on such variables, expr command is used because by default all variables are stored as a string. Command substitution operator. Command substitution is the mechanism by which the shell performs a given set of commands and then substitutes their output in the place of the commands. Another definition, command substitution is generally used to assign the output of a command to a variable. So another command is used with this expr command, and that command is called as backquote. So this backquote command you can find out on the keyboard. So at the corner of the keyboard, backquote command is there and it looks like a single quote, but it is not a single quote. So this is a backquote command starting and ending. This is a backquote command which looks like a single quote, but it is not a single quote. So this operator you need to also use with expr command, otherwise it gives an error. When performing the command substitution, make sure that you use the backquote and not a single quote character. So these are the various examples how to use the expr command. So $expr and the numbers which you want to calculate. So instead of numbers you can also use here variables for calculations, or directly you can also use the numbers. So these all are used for calculating arithmetic operations. If you are using here variables, then you need to use here backquote also. This way you need to enclose this expr command with backquote. So you can see here we are used here backquote command. See $echo. This is the backquote operator used with expr command. So on the terminal you can type expr and the operator, that is the numbers which you want to add, then it is going to give the result. This is the output. Now the same expressions we are written here, but see in between there is no space. If you don't give the space, these all numbers are treated as a single number because there is no space, and the output which it gives is in the same manner. So whenever you are using expr command, make sure that there must be the spaces in between. Here you must use spaces in between, otherwise it gives no result, otherwise errors. See, another example, expr command, and this is the division operator, and the answer we get here. This is the output. This is the modulus operator with expr command. Now see, multiplication. To use the multiplication in Unix Linux shell scripting, you can't use only the star operator, otherwise it gives syntax errors. So you have to use the multiplication operator in this way. Then it will give the correct output. So there are alternative ways to perform the arithmetic calculations using the brackets and expression command. So if you are using the arithmetic expressions using the brackets, then you are going to use in this way. So within the bracket, the expressions you are going to write, and outside you are going to use dollar. If you are using without expr command. See, this is one way to perform the arithmetic calculation. You have to use double rounded brackets and no spaces in between, no spaces in between. See, this is another way to perform arithmetic calculations. And if you are using expr command, you need to use here backquote operator. See here, you need to use backquote operator. You can also combine two. See, but the end, if you are not using, at the end, if you are not using the brackets, you need to enclose this with backquotes only. Backquote command or substitution operator. See, various ways to use the expr command. The simplest way is this, first one, expr $num1 spaces in between and then $num2. This is the easiest way to perform the arithmetic calculation. You can also use the rounded brackets and $sign outside. No need to use the $signs here inside if you are using double rounded brackets. And see, we are not used here backquotes operator. We are not used here backquotes operator because we are used here rounded bracket. See, if you are using the rounded brackets at the end of the expression, then don't use backquotes. If you are not using rounded brackets at the end of the expression, then use backquotes. So using expr command, you can compare two expressions. See, it returns either 0 for failure. If the expressions are failure, then it is going to return 0 value. If it is successful, then it is going to return 1. See, this symbol indicates comment line, so it will be not executed by the interpreter. So in variable 1, you have stored the value 10. In the variable 2, you have stored the value 20. And this is a single quote you are used here. Now see, you are comparing here, variable 1 is whether equal to variable 2. Then if it is not equal to, then it returns 0. You can see 10 and 20 are not equal, so it is returning 0. You can also use here less than when you want to compare variable 1 is less than variable 2. Then it is returning 1, that is, yes, 10 is less than 20. And see, variable 1 is not equal to variable 2. Yes, 10 is not equal to 20, then it is going to return 1. So we can use also expression keyword to compare the values. So you can also use expression keywords with various operators also. So another example, to use the expression keyword to increment a variable. So in a y, we have stored the value 10. Now we want to increment the value of y. Then see, expr space $y space operator and 1, and enclose it with backquotes. And then display the value of y. Then it is going to give the accurate result. So after incrementing it is going to be 11. Another example, string related operations using expr to find length of string. So a is a variable, in that we have stored the value hello. Hello string we have stored. Now we want to find the length of that string. So expr command, length is a keyword you need to use whenever you want to find out the length, and $a. So whatever is stored in $a, it will show the length of that string. So in a $a, hello is stored. And don't forget to enclose it with backquotes. Then display the value echo $B, so it will display the length 5. Next, to find the index or position of character in a string. Now, what is the position of a particular character in a string? If you want to find out it, see, in a variable we have stored the string hello. Then now here, instead of length, we have used here index, because we want to find out here the index or position of that character L. So this is a L character which we want to find out the position, and don't forget to use the backquotes. And the result will be stored in this B, and you are displaying the value of B. And it is 3, because as letter L is at position 3. So it is at position 3, so it is going to show 3. Another example, addition of two numbers, enter a number, read A. So you are accepting the values from keyboard. So whatever the values you have entered from the keyboard will be stored in A and B, like 10 and 20 are stored in A and B. And then in A what is stored? 10, and in B 20 is stored. And the result will be stored in the sum, that is 30. And on the screen 30 will display. So this is the easiest and simplest way to declare the variables for arithmetic calculation. You can also use in this way, see, echo sum equal to expr $A plus $B. So displaying the message with the expression, both you have combined here into single statement. Calculation part as well as echo part, displaying it on the screen. Both you have combined into one, then enclose that in a double quotes. But don't forget to enclose the backquotes also. Another example. So we have stored some values in the variable A and B. And you can use the expr to perform the arithmetic calculations, which will be storing this variable val, and you are displaying it on the screen. See, $val. So whatever is stored in val, it will display on the screen. Similarly, you are performing subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus. Now this example is on the backquote, how to use the backquote. Now see, if you want to store the value of some command in some variables, then you need to use your backquotes. We use your backquote because we want to store the value of this date in another variable, date. Whatever this command is going to give the output will be stored in this variable. That's why we need to use your backquotes. So date is date, it is going to display on the screen. Then see here, the output of this command will be stored in this user. If you don't use this backquote, it gives the error. It will not store the output of this command in the variables. So that's why I need to use backquotes. Then logged in users are users, logged in users are users, and then it is going to also increment. See, whenever we are storing any command output in another variable, we need to always use backquotes. So in today's session, we have studied all about the expression command, which is used to perform arithmetic calculation with the help of the backquote commands and also with the rounded brackets. Thank you.